your hair looks really good. You got it done
Thank
today?
you. Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
It's a little spooky, so I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. So welcome back to the podcast. This is your second
Yes.
time.
Yes. Thank you. I'm very excited to be back, and like it's crazy to even like see like the growth from then to now. So
Eh, it's a lot easier coming back a second time, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'm not like not as nervous.
yeah, you're not nervous. You're like, you know the process, like, okay, there's not a whole lot of setup to do. You just jump on this thing, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like a part two.
Right. Well, the other thing too is I talked to you and then I talked to Nick,
Yes.
not long after. So, it's been cool.
Yeah.
So look, I can't even wait to show it. So I got something special in the mail today. Let's see if
Oh,
it'll, yeah. And you spelled my name right. Thank you so much. Eric with a K. You're awesome.
well,
And
yay. I'm literally so excited about my patches. They
dude,
came out like a lot better than I expected.
really, really, really good. Like I want to ask you about that because they are really good. Like the company we've worked with, never had a problem with. They're really good.
Yeah.
But these look awesome. Like what a good design.
Yes.
And I mean, if you don't mind telling everybody how like the process. So how did you go from concept, like in your head, this idea in your head, to ending up with this awesome, and this thing is so smooth too.
Yeah, and it also glows in the dark, like really well
What?
too.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
So like when you're in the dark, all you see is just like the space buttons with like the mask on.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's really cool. But yeah, I mean I can definitely like explain it. So um obviously like my mask is like a huge part of my logo. So
Right.
I worked with Rogue Customs, which is he's amazing. And like I just remember reaching out to him and I was just like, I want a custom mask and I just want it to be a jack-o'-lantern. Like that is all I want.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And I was like, I don't even know if this will be possible because like he is more of like the venom, like the rigid teeth and stuff like that. And he was like, no, like
Right.
we're gonna get this done. And I was like, okay. And so like we were just like going through like the stages of it, and then like finally he like gets it done, and I was just like, no way, like this is like literally coming to life. And like I mean you've probably seen some of the pictures. Like originally I was running the white and blue mask,
Yeah.
and people only knew me because of like my hairstyle. And so um we were on vacation, and I was just like scrolling through Instagram, and like my mask was done at the time but I didn't have it. But as I was scrolling through Instagram, um all my stuff is just Halloween based. And
Yeah.
so I saw this Halloween artist, and I was like, I need to get something done by them. And so I reached out to them. I was like, hey, like, I play Airsoft. I really need a logo done. And this is what I'm thinking. I was like, I literally just want my head. And they're like, okay. And so, like, I sent them a picture of my mask. I sent them, like, some other stuff. And I was like, I want some, like, little ghosties and, like, a little sparkle. And they were like, okay. And, like, they have never done like any airsoft stuff before, and like they did it perfectly.
Yeah.
And so like they had it to me like the next day, and I was like, goodness, okay.
So that was
And
the drawing that they came up with, the proof.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So I released that in June, like the end of June. And then I was talking to one of my sponsors, and he was like, "We gotta get you patches." And I was like, "Okay." And then like he was like, "I know a guy," and he like literally got them for me. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
so I mean, I don't want to name the sponsor because I don't know like how they feel about that, like me
That's
saying
fine.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like literally like they're just like taking care of me and like wanting the best for me and just being able to like see me thrive in the airsoft community. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, for somebody that didn't even want to, you were just a bystander. You were a viewer on the outside watching your husband play,
yeah,
and didn't really ever think about playing up until that day when they asked you to fill in for somebody. And
yeah,
now, oh, now look at you.
yeah. It's literally crazy. I mean, I will walk into SS and like one person will just be like, "Hey, Spooky," and I'm just like, "What?" Like, okay. Or like on my TikToks, they're just like, "Hey, Spooky, like, can I take a picture with you? Like the next time you're at SS or something like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, okay." Or like now, like I'm working at SS like part time, like helping like with their social media stuff.
Nice.
And like if they see me on their TikTok, they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." But like I said that I was going to Nashville this weekend with Nick, and one kid was like, "Can you sign my gun?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, like if you want me to, like,
Oh, that's
okay."
cool.
But so we'll see if somebody actually asks me to sign their gun, but I have no idea if that will actually happen.
That's cool though. Yeah. Yeah, so this came in it must have came in yesterday, the mail. Really cool packaging, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that you're going with the whole, you're sticking everything with the Halloween theme. And then this paper, did you draw all those decorations on there?
Yes, I did.
That is awesome. Like, see, that's the personal touch. I was going to read this out loud on this podcast, but honestly, I was getting a little choked up when I saw it this morning because I did not expect this. I only expected the patch. And so
Yeah.
I pulled this out and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was getting ready to go to work and I was like, "Okay, well, that's so nice."
Yeah,
But thank you
no.
so much.
No, like I appreciate you so much, and it's like as soon as the patches came out, I was like, okay, like who was there from the beginning? Like who kind of helped me like get to where I was? So obviously, I was like, TriFecta needs one, Rogue needs one, and like my other sponsors need one, and I'm just like, y'all have literally helped me like start where I'm at. So I'm
Oh,
like, I
thank
have to
you.
take care of like my people.
That's awesome. Speaking
Yeah,
of Rogue, by the way, I'm doing a podcast with him tomorrow night.
really, that's awesome. That's
Yes, I am
amazing.
so excited.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
because so many people have talked about him. I mean, and then of course this came in today and I knew he did your mask.
yeah.
So, oh
No,
yeah.
like I mean, he like gave Spooky her like persona, I guess,
Hmm.
because like that's my mask,
Right.
and that's how people are gonna know who I am. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
in.
That is so cool. Hell yeah. Well, you've been busy. You're jamming on your TikTok stuff and your little skits you do. I'm like, dude, you are putting them out like the funny ones where you get Nick in there too. They're awesome, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I mean, social media is just a beast of its own.
Yeah.
And I mean, there have just been some days where I'm like, I really have nothing to post, or like,
Hmm.
I have got, I mean, even then, like, I was getting a lot of hate, like, when we first talked. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, a couple weeks ago, people were just, like, absolutely, like, killing me. And I was just like,
What?
I can't do this anymore. Like,
Just like out of the blue, like just what? Because I've seen
so,
all your posts and yeah, I can't see what negative thing somebody could say. I just don't get it.
yeah. I've had one girl, she was like, "We get it, you're an airsoft player, like stop throwing it down like everybody's throats." And I was like, this
There's
is
a
like
thing
a
called
whole.
unfollow button, okay?
Exactly,
So you can shut
exactly.
up.
Yeah, I'm like, you can like block me so you don't see my stuff. Or like I've had two kids find my Instagram, like obviously like it's not that hard to find because it's
Right.
spooky airsoft. And they're like, we saw your Instagram and like just wanting to get stuff out of me and like didn't know who I was, but claiming they did know who I was.
Yeah.
And then, like, since they didn't get the reaction that they wanted out of me, then they were like, we're going to destroy you, like, all this stuff.
Jesus.
And I was like, okay. So, like, it really did upset me because it's like, airsoft is something that I really love to do. And it really is like an anxiety reliever.
Right.
But when people are like coming at me and like coming for the jugular, it's just like, okay, I didn't do anything to you. Like,
Right.
so it's it's been a whirlwind, and again, social media is just a beast.
Well, I think
And
a lot of people say, the advice, the general advice with that kind of stuff is just don't look at the comments. The problem with
yeah,
that is, when you have a lot of, when you have more positive people and friends and whatever that you follow and comment on, and then they comment on your stuff and you don't look at your comments, you don't see that, you don't respond back or like the comment or whatever, it's almost like people are like, well, they don't even know, they don't even look at my comment, that kind of thing. So it's
yeah,
almost like you're a little stuck. Like you gotta scroll through them, but I don't know like how you could fix that because there, I guess as soon if you read something that I don't know, like because once you read it, you can't unread it.
exactly. And
It's
it's
fucking
like,
done.
sorry, my dog's trying to get up in here. Get
That's
down.
okay.
I'm so
We we've
sorry.
had we've had dogs on the podcast before
She
and
like knows
babies
that.
and
Yeah. She knows I'm sitting over here, so she's like, "Oh, you let me sit up here with you usually," but I'm like, "No, no, right now." But I mean, especially like having Nick in the airsoft world with me, like
yeah,
if he knows that something's like really bothering me, I'll be like, "Oh, this person said this," and he's like, "Okay, let me get on there really quick." And so then he goes after them,
yeah,
and so he doesn't really like make me do it. But like he's super sweet about it, and I mean not towards them, but
right.
like just to
Taking
protect
care of you,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Protect your feelings and stuff because so I think what I'm gathering, I guess, or is that almost all the girls I've talked to, obviously it's an airsoft it's just been airsofters, but all the ones I've talked to have the same issue, and I think I still don't understand it. I really can't figure it out, honestly. I
Yeah.
don't- okay, so obviously I've narrowed it down to it's a female thing, right? You girls are getting way more negative comments, I think, than most of the guys. At least that I know of.
Yeah.
Like no one's ever really talked about it. So, and we've not experienced it. I don't. It's just so weird because when I see your posts and I see what a lot of you and a bunch of other girls post, and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's hard for me to see what what
Yeah.
is. I don't get it. I just can't figure it out. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Whatever.
And
They're
so
children. Okay, they're
exactly,
children.
they're children playing with toy guns, and it's like I'm playing with a freaking toy gun too, and like I'm letting these like 9-year-olds tell me that I'm a piece of shit, basically, and it's
Yeah.
like I know I'm not a piece of shit. Like mommy and daddy buy your gun, and I'm using my hard-earned money. Like, okay, like you're a piece of shit. I'm
We're
not.
all pieces of shit, Alexis. Okay. Once you accept that,
Exactly.
you'll feel better.
Yeah. No. Like, there was one day we had gone to airsoft, and disclaimer, like me and this kid are fine now, so if he happens to watch this, like I still don't have beef with you, like we're fine. But
Right.
I think like one of the first times that I had come on here, it was I had posted this video of this kid coming up to me saying like, "Hey babe," or something like that.
I remember that.
And he realized that that video had gone viral, and when we went to SS like a couple days later, um Nick and I were there, and Nick was like, "I'm gonna go to the gas station," because there's a gas station like right near, like walking distance. I was like, okay, like no worries, like I'm just gonna sit, hang out here, and then like get ready to go into the game. Well, it was like as soon as Nick had left, this kid like got up in my face and was like, "Hey babe, hey babe, hey babe," like I was in your TikTok, and like was just kind of like hammering
Oh,
me, and it's like,
Jesus.
okay, there are two ways you could have gone about this. You chose to go one way, and the way that you should have gone about this was like, "Hey, I was in your TikTok video, haha, like cool."
Yeah, just say hi. How about that?
Yeah. And like, it's like, why are you getting up in my face? Why are you like, why did you wait for my husband to leave? You know? And
Yeah.
so Nick came back and I told him, and he immediately was, what happened? And so I told him, and he was like, who was it? And he like scans the room, and I said, it was that kid over there. As soon as I pointed, Nick took off, like gets in this little kid's face and was like, "You don't ever fucking talk to my wife like that. You will never talk to her again, like unless I'm around her. Like don't even think about it." The kid couldn't even get a word in. Nick turns around and like comes back and he was like, "You don't have to worry about him anymore." I was like, "Okay." Like, but it's like if you see a quote unquote influencer out in public, like this is just my PSA, and I will get off my like soapbox after this. It's just like, just tell them that you like their content. Like you don't have to be obnoxious about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and people are like, you don't post enough footage. Okay, well, I have a life outside of airsoft. And to still be like relevant in the airsoft world, I have to post videos every day.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, you don't post enough footage. Okay, I don't play airsoft every single day of my life.
Duh. Like,
And
it's a hobby.
exactly. And they're
Jesus.
like, well, you don't even post airsoft content. I'm like, every single video that
Oh,
I have on there says airsoft on it.
right.
So
You're an
it's
airsofter. If it's got you in the video, then it's about airsoft. So shut up.
exactly, exactly. And then even when I do post footage, it's like I get 5 likes on it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to post footage anymore
No.
because it's got 5 likes on it, and then this one video of me dancing around gets like 1,000 likes, and I'm like,
Duh. The
so
picture of you getting the foil in your hair, getting your hair highlighted, gets more than the footage, okay? That's what we want to see,
exactly,
all right?
exactly. Like you want to see the girl that is getting pampered to go to Nashville Airsoft, like
Yeah, right? Yeah, I like
so.
the one you did today with the something about, oh, come hang with me on my day off or something like that. And it had all
Yeah,
the things basic little things you would do on your day off, get your hair done, your nails, put your rings on and
yeah,
shit like that. It was cool, you know?
yeah. I mean, that page is more like towards like mental health, so I'm just like, you just gotta go through life and just not give a fuck. Like that's what I'm learning right now.
Yeah.
Not to give a fuck about what people think. So
Yeah, it's there, and that's a balance, just like everything else in life. There's a balance. It's you've got to have just the right amount of fuck it. And when my
yeah,
kids were growing up, when they were starting to get to that age, she's around 11 or 12, and that's when they start realizing like, oh, people, I care about what I look like in front of other people, kind of thing.
yeah,
Or what other people think. And I'm like, you got to have just the right amount of fuck it. Like you can't be overboard with it and just be apathetic to everything. You'll never get anything done. You'll be completely swayed by, like, you'll never be you. And by the time you're
yeah,
30, you're gonna go, who the fuck am I? Like, why am I acting like this? Oh, because when I was 13, I started listening to what everybody said about me and try to conform to that. And
yeah,
I don't even like this.
yeah,
So you got to have that balance. Like you can shut off some of it and not let it really fuck you up inside, where you're
yeah,
overthinking it all day. Those
exactly.
comments or whatever, but you can't. But you still got to be you and care about what you're doing and keep pushing and keep posting.
Yeah, no,
Don't let them stop you.
yeah, I 100% agree. And like even in just like my personal life right now, like I'm just going through some stuff, and like Nick is like, you know what, just like fuck those people, fuck their opinions. They have
Yep.
no positive like influence in your life. So at the end of the day, do what you like to do. And I'm
Exactly.
like, that is do my work, do what I'm supposed to do, hang out with Nick and play airsoft.
There you
And
go.
it's like if you're not going to be a positive influence in any of those, then excuse my French, but fuck off.
Exactly. No,
Like
for real.
I don't need you to tell me what to do.
Well, the
Or if
hard
you need to.
part, you guys are young. You guys are, how long you guys been married?
2.5 years.
2 years. Yeah, you're young marriage. And, a big part of my wife and I, what yesterday was our 30-year anniversary.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
Thank you. And I can't, it sounds weird, like so strange to say that out loud because it really, I know it's cliche. I know, everybody says it, but it does really feel, it doesn't feel like that long ago.
Yeah.
We were, when I was still in the Marine Corps, came home on leave, got married, drove her out to California from Cleveland, Ohio, and lived in a little apartment off base. And it's very strange to say that, but yeah, the big one of our big adjustments were I guess was our immediate family. So parents, siblings, and aunts and uncles that were kind of close or whatever. So there's like this advice. Now there was no social media, internet, when we got married in '92, but it was still phone calls. So weekly phone calls on a landline, with the long ass cord and shit. and, so it was like my wife would get so upset about this conversation about her mom said this or her dad said you better do this and that, whatever, kind of bullshit. Or my sisters, I have two sisters, I'm the only boy. My sisters would get in this fucking drama shit, and she'd get so upset, and I'm like, you got to cut that off. Like, you got to, like, don't worry about it. Because, and Nick knows this for sure, especially when you're in the military, like active duty, you are very, very conditioned to say fuck what everybody says. Like, you
Yeah.
follow orders, don't care what anybody else says, thinks, whatever. Like, you're so calloused to it. So,
Yeah.
when Jen would say, I'm this and that, they said this, I'm like, so, like, why are you upset? Like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, because we're on a different level, like, with the like the words don't hurt me thing, and then she's like, but they do. I'm like, you need, no, 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 stop that right now. So it was a hard adjustment.
Yeah. No, that's literally what I'm going through right now. Is just like I have this friend that like come to find out was sending my TikToks through like a group chat and like talking about how I shouldn't have been posting it and it was like inappropriate. But like I guess it was like a year ago or something like that. But I'm just like, how are you my friend if you're gonna send this stuff? Like
Yeah.
so I'm just like, whatever, whatever. Like and I'm just like trying to like cut it off, positive energy from right now. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. I don't care. And Nick's like, I know you kind of care. I was like, yes, I do. But,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I was like literally telling him, I was just like, I have worked so hard to get my mental health to where it is right now
Yeah.
that it's like, I don't need the negative energy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Airsoft is going so well right now that I'm just like, I just need to be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have friends that lift me up in the airsoft world that support me, and I have people like you who are like there for the ride, there for the journey, there that want to see my story, and like people who are in my everyday life, like that have nothing to do with airsoft, aren't doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like airsoft has literally created just like this family for me that like I never knew I needed.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, like literally, since we're going to Nashville, we have some friends that are up in Nashville that play airsoft, and we're like, "Yo, like, let's hang out afterwards. Like, let's go to Broadway." And they're like, "For sure, like, let's go do it." And so it's like we have friends like dispersed everywhere, and it's just like we can still go hang out with them like outside of airsoft, but still enjoy airsoft with them.
Yeah,
So
that is cool. Well,
yeah,
that's what happened with me as well. I know you've heard the story and stuff, and that's I never expected this community, this group, this family, this brotherhood, this sisterhood, the whole thing, like to be uh to be what it is for me, who's fucking old and like I was old, literally old and decrepit. Okay, I couldn't walk, and at the time I started this channel, so I didn't play airsoft. I didn't, I was an old school paintballer, like airsoft stupid. It's for little kids. What are you doing? And now this is legit like my family. I have
yeah,
I was talking to my wife last night. Her parents came over to hang out for a little bit, give us, an anniversary card and stuff. And then after they left, we were outside talking, and I said, airsoft thing came up. I was telling her about my schedule this week, talking with you tonight, and then Rogue tomorrow, and then I have one Thursday. And I was like, man, I love meeting all these people and talking with them. I can't wait to talk to Spooky because I want to get to that event at SS, because I'm going to meet you in person if you're going to be there in September, the Call of Duty event at SS.
yes, I will be there.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to
Yeah.
meet you and Nick because me and two of my sons will be there. So,
Okay,
but
awesome.
yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited because you guys are that, SS is like literally just 2 hours from us. So, but I was telling her like, man, it's what's so cool is I have friends up in Michigan. I have friends in Georgia. I have like all of you guys that I've talked with and, been talking with over the, past 3 years, commenting back and forth and just video calls or whatever, even before I started doing podcasts. These are friends. Like I said, we have, I know a guy in Ireland that like we're close enough that I could go there. If I called him up, if I called up Alan and said, hey man, I'm in this area, where are you at? Are you close? He'd be like, I'll be right there. Like we could stay at his house. He would take us around the town. I have people in all these different countries, all these different states. This community is so freaking cool where they're just like, yeah, man, come out here when you're out in Michigan, come hang out with us. So never
Yeah,
expected that. Never expected that.
right, exactly. Like, I mean, so outsiders looking in, I mean, because I was there a year and a half ago. Like, Nick was packing up to go play airsoft, and I was going to work. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
Right.
you go do your thing. But it's like when you like immerse yourself into the community, it's like no, like you have friends, you have family there. That it's just we all enjoy doing the same thing.
Hmm.
And I mean, even now, like this is still in like the works and it's literally just an idea, but I might be teaming up with somebody in the West Coast to do like a collab with them
Hmm.
and like gearing towards mental health.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's
Okay.
like insane because it's still in the airsoft world, like,
Right.
and we're pushing towards like a common thing of like, okay, like this is what how we want to use our platform. This is how we want
Yep.
to like make our names like so then people know okay like this is like a safe space like this person is a safe space
Right.
and like I'm so excited for that
Good.
because like recently it's just like again positive vibes like we don't want to be the asshole player. It's no, I want to feel like I can reach out to Spooky and like talk to her if I have something going on,
Right.
you know. So it's just really cool to like think of like all these opportunities coming up and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you find that one niche or area that you're like, kind of drawn to that maybe if you've had some benefit from like if you are feeling better, you're doing better, you're getting stronger, that kind of thing because of this airsoft thing, that you're into.
Exactly.
yeah, then that's kind of what, if you take that and pass it on, that's what you're meant to do, like that is, I heard this guy say, you know, it's kind of hard to find your purpose in life. Everyone always asks, what is the purpose of life? What is my purpose?
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's difficult. He said it's okay to be in that place. It's okay to not know what your purpose is, but it's not okay to not be diligently working towards finding your purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people kind of sit back and like, well, I don't know my person, and kind of wander around for a long time. And then, before they know it, like, wait a minute, what? I want to do this or whatever. Like, it's kind of, it's not too late, but it's, you missed a lot of years where you could really, you know, not only be happy, because you got to be happy to be able to spread it. You know what I mean? Like the old saying, you got to love yourself before you can love somebody else, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it is, you got to be full. You got to be full to be able to pass it out. And if you're
Yeah.
constantly a taker, like your cup's always empty, you have nothing to give anybody. You're always like asking for everybody else to fill it up. But
Yeah.
once you're in a place where you can give it back, you start to want to, especially around all these airsoft communities.
Yeah, no, I like 100% agree. And I mean, kind of just like be transparent with the airsoft world right now, because I'm trying to be a little bit more transparent in like my regular life. Um, Last year at this time, I had just graduated college with my criminal justice degree, and I really wanted to go to law school.
Hmm.
And I was working at a law firm. Like, that is what I wanted to do. Like, 100%, that's what I wanted. And I really was hoping that this August I was going to law school. Well, I got denied by both of the law schools that I wanted to go to, and I know it was because of my LSAT scores because I'm a terrible test taker. Like, I
Yeah.
had amazing grades in college, like a 3.8 GPA, like I did the sports and everything, and like I had great letters of recommendation, and my LSAT scores were shit. And
Gotcha.
I was like, I'm not taking this test again. Like, that is treacherous. Like, it's terrible. And
Isn't
like,
that
I
like
just,
a 2 or 3 hour test or something? Or it's really long,
yeah.
right?
I believe before COVID hit, it was like a 4 or 5 hour test.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like it is literally one of the hardest tests that I have ever taken, and I've taken it 3 times.
Oh my God.
And now it's only, yeah, it's only about like a 2.5 hour test,
Hmm.
but it goes through like logical reasoning, logic games, and then like reading comprehension. But it's like you can't study for it. Like you can, but it's really just like practice, and it's
Gotcha.
not like memorization things.
Hmm.
And so like I hated it, and like halfway through the test, I'd be like, I really don't want to do this anymore. Like this is terrible. And like if you ask Nick, like I like don't want to use depression like as an adjective or anything, but like I was so like dark, and I just like cried because I was like, this was where I was supposed to be in life. Like I was
Right.
supposed to go to law school, like I was supposed to be this big time lawyer, like I wanted to drive the big Escalade, like I wanted to be the girl walking into court, like just busting ass in there,
Yeah.
like just like you know, and then it was just like it was all ripped away.
Hmm.
And so now, like a month later, after finding that out, like I'm like, actually, maybe that's not what I was supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Because one, every lawyer that you talk to, they hate their lives.
Yep.
Like they are have really bad anxiety, like they have really bad depression because they're literally just working all the time and they have no
Yeah.
like free time at all. And like that's not what I want. Like, and it
Yeah.
would put a strain on our marriage. Like I wouldn't be able to play airsoft. Like it would literally just be work all the time. And
Well, I think a
so,
lot of them to find out that it's not like the movies. Like
yeah.
even trial lawyers,
Hmm.
even trial lawyers, it's so sensationalized in the movies to make it more entertaining.
Oh yeah.
I'm not putting it down. I think it's good for a movie because if you watch the real trial stuff, which a lot of people got, well, the famous people, it's a little different because there's some
Yeah.
banter back and forth, but that doesn't normally go on in a regular courtroom because the judge won't allow that shit. So,
Yeah.
and the most of the lawyers are not as well spoken and have these great speeches like they do in the movies. It's
Yeah.
very, by the book, by the law, and they just recite these laws like point out this and point out this. And it can be really boring. I've been in a few court cases and they're pretty fucking boring.
Yeah. No,
And the lawyers are like the stack of folders and papers like this. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like all you do is study
yeah, no,
every day.
it's insane. Like I worked for like a family lawyer, so we did a lot of like divorces and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And some of like
That's rough.
the yeah, like the child modifications and stuff like that where
Yeah.
they're like trying to figure out like the custody of the children.
Mm.
And I remember just sitting there for 8 hours and just trying to prepare for court and like just making sure that we had like all of our evidence in our file folders, like making sure, because I mean, yes, the lawyer does have to present everything, but
Hmm.
if we don't have what we needed, like that was on me. Like
Right.
I was going through all of our files, like on the computer, printing them out, making sure we had 4 copies of everything so that like we had a copy, the judge had a copy, the opposing counsel had a copy, and then like we have a copy for our record, and it's just like it was
Holy
so much,
crap. Yeah.
so much. And like we would literally go in with like the printer boxes full
Oh,
of
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that part is real, like in the movies,
Yeah,
where they carry all those fucking boxes in.
yeah. And like I would literally just sit behind my attorney and I'd be like, oh, okay, just okay, you
Oh
get
my
one and you get one
gosh.
and you get one. And then next one,
Wow.
okay, like let's go. But
Yeah.
like that's just not what I wanted in my life. And like
Yeah.
I had to come to that realization, and it's kind of like what you're saying. It's just like, okay, you might sit there and wonder what your purpose in life is, but you have to actively try to find
Hmm.
what that is. Like I could have just sat there and cried for a month straight to figure out what I wanted to do, but
Right.
nothing was actively getting done, you know? So,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah, a
agree.
lot of people are like, well, okay, so how do I work towards finding my purpose? Well, you got to do stuff, okay? Like you actually have
Exactly.
to do stuff, like action, okay? You got to try things. You got to. So, have you ever thought about writing? Do you like writing? Kind of, a little bit. Well, sit down and write every day. Just
Yeah.
random shit, start a journal, start with the basics, and then let it lead into telling a story or biography, like a nonfiction or whatever, like whatever, whatever it is that you got to try things to find your place. It's
Exactly.
who knows. So yeah,
I mean, life is just trial and error, honestly.
for sure.
And like we always think that like all these adults have their life figured out, and then like Nick and I are in the adult world and we're like, absolutely nobody knows what they're doing.
Very few, man. It's like anything else. There's those people that can balance the like all the stress and whatever going on around them and their families and in their job, whatever it is, and working a lot and still be, you know, calm and good with their finances and good with whatever, like dealing with people and stuff. But that's really rare. Okay. Most people are good at probably, or not good, but kind of halfway good at one of those things. And the other stuff they just figure out, along the way. But it's it's not. Yeah, we don't have our shit together. Okay, even I'm 51. Even at 51, I'm like, okay, well, figure out whatever. We just kind of figure it out. This is
Yeah.
when we had all those kids. We had 5 kids. It was just our life felt like we were just reacting. You know, instead of planning, we were just reacting to, especially when they're teenagers. Okay, y'all teenagers, not you. But
I was one once.
we all were. Teenagers, man, they just throw curveballs all the time. You never know what to expect when they, come home from school or like, oh, Christian did this or Cassidy said this happened at school. Like, God damn it. What the hell now?
Yeah, right. I
Who
mean,
knows?
yeah, it's crazy because like my niece is 5 years old and she just started
Nice.
kindergarten on Friday,
Yeah.
and it's just like crazy to hear just like the things she says because I mean she's the first like baby in my family that like I've seen her grow up and like she's becoming like more verbal and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And some of the stuff she says, I'm like, what did you just say? Like you're like a 15-year-old. Like you are literally a teenager trapped in a child's body.
Yes.
Like
No
what?
kidding.
And I
Well, we
mean,
had my granddaughter is 4. She just turned 4, and like a month ago, she was on the back deck, and I have the when we had the pool back here, it's above ground pool, had the ladder hooked onto the deck that goes into the pool. So, and I don't have a gate over it. So when we're out there, we have to be out there if they're out there playing, like going on the trampoline or something, because somebody has to go in the pool with her, obviously. Well, she comes out there and she was in the pool that day and we were hanging out. Well, she went and got changed because they were getting ready to leave. She comes out and is leaning over the ladder, like, leaning like with her pulling our arms like this. And I turned around and I said, get off, get away from there right now. You're going to, I don't want you falling in. So she goes, it's fine, Papa. It's fine. She's throwing her arms up and down like this. And she threw her arms down like 3 times and said, it's fine. It's fine. And walked in the house. I was like, what? What? How old are you? What is going on? Did you just turn 10 yesterday? What happened?
exactly.
It
No,
was
it's
hilarious.
the oldest, the 5-year-old. She just turned 5 in July, and we were asking her. So she calls me AA, and she calls Nick Nick. And so whenever we like FaceTime her, she's like, "I want to talk to Nick." I'm like, "Okay." So these are my sister's kids, but
Gotcha.
they love him, like they adore
Yeah.
him. And so we call her. I'm like, "What do you want AA to get you for your birthday?" She's like, "I want a cell phone." I'm like, "You're 5. Like, we're not getting you a cell phone."
Yeah, we're not
And
doing that.
so I like, I was like researching. I was like, maybe they have like a kid's phone,
Yeah.
like that's just like the buttons or whatever that like looks like a real phone. And so I look on Target and like I find this like VTech phone where literally it's you can send messages, but like obviously like there's like the parental controls on it, and you can
Right.
only do it for like Wi-Fi. And then like it has like this little camera on it, but then it has like a music app that's like classical music and stuff like that. And it's for a child. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I was so excited. I was like, we got her the best birthday gift ever. And so we get to her house and she walks in. Hey, did you give me the phone that I asked for? And I was like,
Oh, shit.
okay, yes, I did get you the phone. And like, she was so excited, but then she was more excited about the little makeup kit that somebody else got her. And I was like, I'm never spending money on this kid again. Like,
Oh,
like
that's funny.
that is children in a nutshell. Like, oh my gosh, like,
Of course. Squirrel. Okay. Like what?
yeah, like you just spent like $100 on this toy. Okay, let me go to the $20 like Target
Oh,
makeup
yeah.
set that doesn't even have real makeup on it. Like,
Bro, listen, wait till they, wait till when you spend money on them and they, like on a birthday or whatever, and they open, they have 10 gifts and they just throw, like, and then they turn around and run outside with like the TV remote that you've had, that's
exactly.
all, got food and crud all over it, fucking dirty and shit. Like, it's been sitting there for 5 years, but they got all these new toys. Nah, no, I don't want that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
like I
dude,
just want the plastic bag that it came in. Like,
right?
whatever. But I'm
Turn on
like,
Paw Patrol on friggin' or Cocomelon, okay? And they'll be in heaven. They don't want your gifts.
oh, exactly. See, my youngest niece, she just turned 2, and her favorite movie right now, I kid you not, is Shrek.
Oh, nice.
And that is one of the
Making
most like,
waffles.
yeah, it's like one of the most absurd kid movies ever.
Hmm.
But it's like my sister knows that if she is being an asshole, just turn on Shrek and she won't even hear anything that you say. She is the most polite child ever. She just sits down like she was not being a brat before, just sits down and watches the movie. Nothing ever happened.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But she loves it. Like Shrek is the go-to.
Yeah. Yeah. The ours is Paw Patrol, and I think the movie right now is Home. You ever seen
Okay.
it? You ever heard of that one? Yeah. I had never seen it until 2 weekends ago, or last
Okay.
weekend, and they were sitting there watching it, and I kind of watched part of it. I was like, I like a lot of the kid movies. I mean, with 5 kids, we watched every kid movie 100 times. And Barney was popular back then, so we know all the Barney songs. Okay, uh, I sing them at work. It's fun.
I mean, you gotta pass time somehow.
Oh, listen, these, construction, these guys are in all these different crews come in, and I'm singing, clean up. And they're like, what is wrong with you? Did you hit your head or something? I'm like, yep.
I sure did.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, the kids are fun, man. You never know what you're going to get. Well, that's the problem is when they get to be 10, 11, 12, and they start seeing this stuff on Instagram because they're into airsoft and they see your channel pop up and they're like, what is she doing? It's not even like a gameplay thing or something. Like we don't want to see this stuff.
Yeah.
Spooky airsoft. What a dumb name. What is that? And then they see you at the field like, hey babe,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Like
Good
they're
God.
so like big and bad behind the phone screen, and then like all of a sudden they like type in there. They're like, "I saw you today at SS." I'm like, "Okay, then why didn't you come say hi?" Like,
Right.
okay, cool. Like you don't have enough balls to come up to me and like say hi or something like that, you know?
No, well, if they're young, man, boys are afraid to talk to girls. You know this, okay? That's why they tease, boys tease girls constantly. The more that, when they're like 6 and 7 and 8, it's like the joke was if they tease the girl all the time, then they like her, because they're too
Yeah.
afraid to say, hey, how you doing?
Right, exactly. No, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think people are probably like, oh, like she looks mean or something like that. I promise you, like, I have one of the worst RBFs ever.
Yeah.
And, like, I just walk around and people are like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing, I promise. It literally is just my face. Like,
It's called gravity, okay? We can't smile all the fucking time. Shit, that shit hurts. All
exactly,
right, it gets tired.
exactly.
All right, we gotta hold it up or something.
Yeah. And I mean, it also like doesn't help that like with Nick's team, they're always the ones that are around me. And I kid you not, anytime that these boys disperse from me, like Nick's team, all these little boys want to come up and talk to me.
Yeah.
Like oh, can I use this? Do you have a flashlight? Can I use your Odin? Like, can I see your gun? And I'm like, would you ask my husband this? Like,
No, they want to talk to you. They're afraid to, especially when other guys are around, man. That's, come on now.
yeah,
You can have you're going to have, listen, you're going to have the whole, like, gang of, young guys following you around, 12 years old. Like, they're standing in a corner all talking to each other, like, all right, just wait till her husband goes away. Hold on, hold on. Okay, they're gone. Hey, Spooky, how you doing? Hey, can we talk to you for a minute? Like, they'll eventually they'll get over the nervousness and they'll be like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Like they'll talk
yeah.
normal. Okay,
Yeah.
it might take some time though.
Like literally, that's all it takes. Just be like, "Hey, like I love your content," and I'll be like, "Thank you, like I really appreciate you." But it's the people that are like, "You suck," and I watch or your TikTok, and I'm like, "Okay, like cool."
Oh yeah, well, well, this event coming up, I saw SS Airsoft post on their Instagram just like last week or whatever, like this really short clip of Call of Duty stuff, and or I guess some people, Alex Zedra, Jammer Actual, and then um, I and then I saw at the very end the event, real quick, like it cut off really fast. I was like, what the fuck? What was that? When is this? And initially I thought, because it was maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, that's in like 2 weeks. I thought it was August, the first week of August.
Yeah.
But then I saw it again, another post, and it was September. I was like, hell yeah. So I talked to all the guys. So on our channel, it's me, Coltrane, Chris, and then JP. So I sent a text message out to, a group message. Excuse me. And I was like, hey, I want to go to this event. You guys want to go? So Colton's like, hell yeah, I'm going. So they're off that weekend. So Chris and Colton are going. Well, JP text back was like, oh man, I already got plans that weekend. I'm going to be in Atlanta. I said, well, Atlanta's right there. It's like, it's got to be super close. He said, I'm going to Comic-Con. I was like, oh shit. That's something we had talked about going to as well as a team, years ago. And but anyway, so me and Colton and Chris are definitely going to be there, but we're super excited and to get to meet some people that I've talked to, on here, like you and Nick. And then one of the guys, the podcast hadn't come out yet, but I talked to Call Sign Cap.
Okay.
The Captain America, he's got the Captain America shield and everything, and he's in Georgia as well.
Yeah.
He plays, I can't remember what his home field is, but he's not far from you guys, from SS. But anyway, he's going to be there. So, his podcast will come out Friday. But so it's really cool. I'm really excited about being able to meet people in person. It's one of the coolest things. I don't know. Maybe it's just weird, that I get so excited about meeting somebody that I've been talking with online or that I've done a video call with, but not met you in person. So I don't know. I'm excited about it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to meet you, but like, it's going to be like a super cool event. And like, we're hoping that it brings like a good amount of people. And I'm the one who made the little clip of the Call of Duty people for SS.
Did you really?
I made that little reel about everybody coming in. So, like, we're super excited, and we're hoping that it's going to be like a really fun weekend because it's on Friday and Saturday.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like Alex Zedra will be there, Ghost, Rudy Reyes, Jade Struck, Tactical Taz, and Call of Duty Rex will all be there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man, because so now, okay, so Friday night, what's the schedule on that, or itinerary on that? What time does it open, or what time does it start? Do you know?
So I have no idea, but I need to make sure like we have again like an itinerary and make sure everybody knows like kind of what's going on. But if I had to guess, it'll probably be like a meet and greet on Friday.
Okay.
And then I don't really know what's going to happen on Saturday, but when I get the details, I'll let you know. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. But it'll be like such a cool event.
Is it a ticketed event? Do we need tickets to get in, or is it going to be just open doors and then you just kind of buy stuff and whatever like?
Yeah, I believe it's just like a buy stuff as you go. Like I don't think it's a ticketed event at all. But thank you for asking
on the website.
Yeah, thank you for asking these questions because now I'm like I gotta sit down with Steve and we gotta make sure like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. So what would be helpful? I went to the website and I didn't see because we can look at the Instagram and see the posts. In fact, that's how I got it out to my guys was, hey, I sent the link to the post or whatever. Or maybe that was on the story. I think I sent the link to the actual post, when you posted that and told them about it, whatever. But when I went to the website, I was looking for information on it. There's nothing on. I couldn't find it. So
Okay.
that would
Perfect.
be really helpful. Like, hey, you don't have to have tickets, or it is tickets or whatever, but um, because I mean, it's not that far, but we're
Yeah.
traveling. We need
Yeah.
to
So
know,
you
you know.
want to know what's going on.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure we kind of like
Yeah, doors
iron
open
some
at
details to that.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it'll be a crazy event. Like it'll be super fun, and I'm excited to see everybody come out for it.
for sure.
I hope everybody's like hype about it.
Yeah, everyone I've talked to is
Yeah.
we're stoked. We can't wait. So,
I mean,
I've followed Jammer Actual for Ghost, Call of Duty
yeah,
Ghost.
yeah.
I followed him. I cannot remember who told me about him. It might have been Honey Badger the first time I talked with Honey Badger,
Okay.
and yeah, I think it was actually. Well, anyway, I've been following him for a while. So he was in the Marines, uh, years after I was in, and I and then of course he's Ghost, like Call of Duty. It's cool as shit. But so I've asked him to be on the podcast. He posted something today on his story about one of those little things like ask me a question.
Yeah.
And so I put in there podcast question mark, and then I just put, oh man, don't worry about it. I'm just fucking with you. So I'm like, he's gonna be there obviously. So now I'm going. So I'm definitely gonna talk to him for a little bit while we're there.
You
But it'll be really
gotta
cool.
shoot your shot.
Right.
So here's my card. Let's hit podcast together.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He came to the anniversary and it was like super cool like seeing him, and I'm not a big gamer at all. Like you could tell me something and I'd be like, like okay, like whatever. Like literally I'm most excited about Tactical Taz being there. Like it's so cool. I love
The
it.
doggies, yeah.
Yes. Like people are like, "Oh my gosh, these girls are so hot," or like the big Call of Duty people, and I'm like, "Okay, hand over the dogs." Like I want the dogs. Like let's be honest, what am I most excited about?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool when I saw he got just recently got the little puppy, Taz.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Taz is the baby, like the Chihuahua, and then he had Ghost has Rex, and then
Right.
Rooster. So
Oh yeah, I forgot about the other one. Yeah, Rooster. Okay.
yeah. So I'm like, I love all the doggies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know, are you traveling up to EA Fest?
When I
Have
don't
you
know.
heard about EA Fest at all?
No. Uh-uh.
So it's in Rhode Island, so it's far for us. So I know it's
Yeah.
definitely far for you as well.
Yeah.
But it's called EA Fest, but it's Extreme Airsoft, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's basically going to be like their anniversary party, but it's literally like all weekend. So Friday is like the industry expo night, and then Saturday is like gameplay slash influencers slash BQB slash all this stuff, and then Sunday is like a community block party.
Nice.
So it's at the end of September. I don't know if that's like super like last minute for you to plan, but like Nick and I will be up there. Rogue
Oh
Customs will
shit.
be up there. I'm pretty sure Little Miss will be up there, and like it's gonna be like this whole like big party thing.
That'd be
So
cool.
yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be
that's why I
fun.
want to meet all the people up there because there's a handful of people. Little Miss is up there. Uh, C7. Actually, C7 is going to be at this event coming up in Georgia. So I just saw that yesterday or today, I think.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
so it's like SS has their stuff, and then like up in September, that's like the Rhode Island
yeah.
stuff. But it's
Okay.
supposed to be like this huge event, and everybody is like super excited to go. So
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look that up. I don't know why I don't see the post from Extreme Airsoft. Well, when you first said EA, I'm thinking of the video game stuff, the EA
Oh yeah,
Sports.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
EA Fest. Yeah, I haven't been to a video game conference in quite a while because I used to work when we first moved to South Carolina. I ran a GameStop store.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, for 3 years. So I ran, and they sent every year. GameStop sent the store managers to a conference in Vegas with all the big name video game, you know, producers and game developers and all that. So we would meet all these people that were part of the gaming process and developers and from all the different through the whole industry. So EA Sports, of course, they have a big venue, and so we would find out all the new shit that was coming out before anybody else, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry to burst your bubble. It's not games, but
damn it.
it's all. Yeah. So, I mean,
I still
it.
game a little bit. I don't game a lot. I right now I'm playing Division 2. So it's a little bit older, but once in a while, one of the guys I did a podcast with on here, Matty Mo, the Mo Bros Airsoft. They're up north as well.
Okay.
He gets on Battlefield once in a while, and he'll invite me on. But yeah, I don't do a whole lot of Call of Duty anymore. I can't keep up on Call of Duty. Okay,
Oh
kids are
yeah.
too fast, bro. My reflexes are shit. They're shit.
And that's like Nick's like just sit down and play for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, all right, like my hands just don't work like that, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
dead. So
Oh yeah.
just doesn't work out for me.
The first time I got my wife to play, I finally talked her into playing Halo. It was when Halo. No, I think it was the first one actually. When the first one came out, she was like, "Oh, that game looks really cool because the colors, it was so vibrant. It was different than the other games I was coming out of. I was a PC gamer back then, and so when I first got the Xbox and I got the first Halo, she's like, "Wow, that looks cool." I'm like, "Here, try it out, try it out." She's like, "No, no, no, no." I'm like, "Just here, just try it." And I'm like, "You move." She's like, "Well, what do I do?" And so I told her, "Bro, I could not get her to stop looking at the ceiling." I'm like, "No, no, no." I'm like, "Point it down." She's like, "I am pulling it down." I'm like, "No, no, no. I guess push it up. I don't know. It's backwards."
Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel. But I mean, give me a good Just Dance game, like I'll beat your ass in it. But like, make me play some car game, make me play some
Oh
like
yeah.
shooting game. It doesn't work out for me.
Have you
Not
tried the dance games like with the pads and stuff? Like the Wii
yeah.
or the what was the other one? Yeah,
It
yeah,
was like Dance Dance Revolution. Like back in the day, it was like Dance
yep,
Dance Revolution. And
right.
yes, me and my sister would like kill it. Like we loved it. And like every Christmas, we always got like the new Just Dance like year for that year. And literally, Nick's like, "You like Just Dance? Why don't you play all these other games?" I'm like, "Because I have no hand coordination. Like I can't do it.
Oh
Like I just
shit.
keep getting shot. Like I don't know what you want from me."
Yeah, I tried those dance games when we had the Connect. I don't know if you remember when the Xbox came out with the Connect thing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
fun. I tried the dance games. I would fall on my face every time. Now, I was drinking quite a bit, but still,
It
I'm
still makes
like,
it
feet
fun.
are going like this. I'm like, oh shit, I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one game that I liked that wasn't the dancing was like Guitar Hero. But I mean, like
Yeah,
everybody loves Guitar Hero.
for sure.
I mean, you
Yeah, that
gotta
was
rock
fun.
out.
Well, speaking of dancing and exercising, man, you have been jamming on your runs. Your run
Yes.
times are getting good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
doing really
mean,
good.
thank you. Thank you. I ran in high school and then I ran in college and then like I just kind of like took a hiatus off of it and
Yeah.
like I got back into it and I was just like, okay, these runs are not for time, they're not for like a certain amount of distance. Like literally it's just to chill. So
Yeah.
like I put my headphones in, I listen to a podcast, and we're just running.
Yeah, dude.
And it is hot as fuck outside, but you know what? We're doing it.
Yeah, it is. Well, you guys have the same weather we have, so the humidity the last week and a half was fucking brutal. Holy
Oh
shit.
my gosh. I went to go take pictures for an event on Saturday morning, and I got there at 10, and by like 11:30 I was sweating my ass off. Like
Hmm.
I was just standing there like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. And like everybody else around me is just like drenched in sweat, and we're like, all right, can we go home now? And they're like, okay, y'all can go home. I get in the car and I'm like cranking up the
Oh
AC.
yeah.
And Nick's like, Alexis, you literally have AC in your car. I'm like, okay, but it's hot as fuck outside. Like, it is so nasty outside. Like, I just want to jump in a pool right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. That humidity really makes a difference. Now, I don't know about you guys, but yesterday, or no, what's today, Tuesday? Sunday. Well, yesterday was too, actually. Sunday afternoon for us. So my wife and I went out for our anniversary on Sunday instead of yesterday because, going back to work on Monday and shit. And so we went out on Sunday. Well, it was really nice here. It was beautiful out, sun was out, but the humidity had dropped a lot compared to the week before. So we were downtown Greenville, and there's a lot of shade and everything, and we're walking through. It was breezy, really, nice wind or whatever. And the sun was hot. Like if you're in the sun, it was still freaking hot,
Yeah.
but it was bearable. Like it was really comfortable to be out. And then last night was really nice to hang out too. We sat on the deck just for a while and talked, and there was a nice breeze. So it was kind of a nice break to be able to get out. But we were glad that it cooled off a little bit for us to walk around downtown because it's really pretty down there. And but you know, like you said, if you go out and it's so hot that it's miserable, it doesn't matter what the environment's like around you, like how pretty it is, or it's not fun.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like, and I don't want to say like in real life, but like outside of airsoft, like I work at a vineyard,
Okay,
and like
nice.
we're in like the North Georgia mountains, and like I can send
Oh
you a picture
shit,
of like the views and stuff like that. Like we're literally at the
that'd be
bottom of,
awesome.
yeah, like we're literally at the bottom of Mount Yona, and
Okay.
it is so fucking hot outside, and people are like, "It's so pretty," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is," but like, it's really hot out here. Like, it is
Hmm.
really hot. Like, we have like obviously like we have like a tasting room and stuff like that where it's like air conditioned, but
Yeah.
like we're like our tasting room is like pre-COVID we were able to like have like tastings and stuff in there, but like post-COVID, like we have so much business that we would get overpowered in there. So on the
Yeah.
weekends we only have outside seating. Now
Gotcha.
like we have like the big fans and everything outside,
Oh,
but
okay.
like it's still so hot, like even
Yeah.
in the shade. And I'm like, I don't know how y'all are sitting out here drinking wine, like even the red wine, because like it makes you hot, like it makes you super
Right.
thirsty, and you're just like, ugh. And then like all of a sudden like this big rainstorm came out of nowhere, and it's like thundering and lightning, and
Oh
everybody
shit.
wants to come inside, and we're like, so it's a lot. But I'll
So
definitely
how
have to like send you pictures.
I would love to see those pictures. How did you end up starting there?
I actually this is really embarrassing,
Now, did
but
you go from? Oh, it's not embarrassing. It's okay. What you went from being in a lawyer's like assistant, pretty much. What do they? What do you call that again? Like legal
um,
aid, right?
I was like a legal assistant. Yeah.
Legal assistant, yeah.
Mhm.
So you went from that to the vineyard.
So when I was going to school, the vineyard was 8 minutes from my school. But
Gotcha.
it was ironic because I went to a private Christian college, and it was
Yep.
like no drinking, nothing. Like you could
Right.
get kicked out like if you were get caught drinking, and I was working at a vineyard.
Oh
And
shit.
so it was like hush hush, like Alexis doesn't work here sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I quit there to work at the law firm, and then now I quit the law firm, went back to my vineyard job, but I'm their social media coordinator. So I run like all their social medias, and then I work in their tasting room as well. So
Hell yeah. Well, what's the name of the vineyard so we can look it up on Instagram and shit?
yeah, it's called Yona Mountain Vineyards.
Okay.
So it's YONAH Mountain Vineyards.
Gotcha.
But I don't condone underage drinking.
Of course
That's
not.
a disclaimer. So
Well,
if any like 12-year-olds come up here, I will not serve you.
just because you work at a vineyard doesn't mean you promote underage drinking. I do
Yeah,
promote underage drinking, okay? It made me who I am today, all right? It's
exactly.
important.
Exactly.
I told my buddy, his daughter is 16. He brought her to work with him the other day because, and she's actually come to work with us in the last year, whatever, during the summer, like to help, clean up or paint or whatever. And so she was sitting in the room. She was waiting on her car to be fixed. He got her a car when she got her license, and an older used car, whatever. But he was having some work done on it. Well, it wasn't ready yet, so she was waiting in there. So they went to when the car was ready, and she went to leave, and she was saying bye to me and stuff, and I said, all right, well, instead of being, okay, be careful driving, like, uh, I'm like, hey, right around the corner there's some crackheads on the corner, okay? They need rides. Go pick up some hitchhikers, all right? That's what you need to do because you got to be a nice citizen. If
Exactly.
you see them standing over there, twitching a little bit, then they need help, okay? Go pick them up and drive them around for a little bit. She's like,
Exactly.
shut up.
Make sure you crack open a beer too, because the cops love the open
Right?
containers.
Go drink and drive. Go to a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's. But yeah, that sounds cool though. I never. I've been to a vineyard or a wine tasting vineyard kind of thing once when we were
Yeah.
in California before we moved back to Ohio.
Hmm.
It was up in well, it was north of L.A. and all that. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
It was a really small town, but it was really pretty.
So California, not to like be like a wine geek or anything, but California is like obviously known for like their wine country.
Right.
And so like Napa Valley and stuff like that. Well, Georgia actually has a big wine country. So like North Georgia, like in Cleveland where we're at, we have probably like 5 to 10 little vineyards around us. And then
Oh,
once you go more towards like Dahlonega, there's probably like 15 or 20 out there.
no
So
shit.
like everybody likes to kind of like go wine hopping. So like it'll be like, okay, like I'll grab a glass here and then I'll travel to the next one, grab a glass here, or like do a tasting and stuff like that. So like that's really big in North Georgia to do like the wine hopping and stuff like
No
that.
shit. Oh my God. I'm glad you said that. I would have never, no, for real. I've never heard of that. And I would have never guessed
Yeah.
that Georgia was known for wine because, I figure you guys have this, very similar type of geography that we have and,
Yeah.
whatever land and all that kind of shit, red dirt, basically, red clay and shit. And,
Yeah.
so I would have never guessed because we always hear Georgia peach, the
Mhm.
peaches and stuff. But I didn't know that they had so many different wine things.
Yeah. I mean, the vineyard that I work at, we have 200 acres, but 20 of it is actually planted with vines.
Okay.
And so I want to say it takes about 3 years for like a vine to actually like sprout and like for it to get like its consistency of like making
Okay.
grapes.
Right.
And like it's just insane like pulling in because you see all this like luscious vines and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like it literally if like next year for your anniversary, like bring your wife down to wine country and just like
Yeah.
hang out and
That's
like hop to
cool.
like the different vineyards and like you can literally make like a weekend trip out of it.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Well, that's
I mean,
cool.
birthday party, like birthdays, anniversaries,
Right.
Christmas, like I just
Yeah.
gave you your next idea.
Yeah, you did. I love learning this shit because I'm like, hell yeah, that's where we're going.
I mean, you wouldn't learn this from the boy airsofters, just saying. Like,
Oh, I know. Well, the thing is too, I was just telling somebody today, like I'm not much of a wine drinker. I don't really like, wine.
yeah.
The only time I would drink my wife's wine that she has a stash of is when I would start running out of my own shit.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the night, or later in the afternoon, I'm like, damn, I didn't get enough beer or whatever, or uh, I'm like, man, I don't feel like going to the store. I don't feel like sending somebody to the store. I don't, or having somebody drive me. So I'll sneak one of these bottles. So what I would do is I would take the whole bottle, bring it in my office in here. Okay, I'm telling myself, right? Bring it in here, uncork it, and then dump it all into like a thing like this, right? So that I would, and then hide the bottle in the bottom of the trash,
Yeah.
and then sip on that the rest of the night. I'm good. And then she's like, because it'll take a couple days for her to figure out that it's missing, because she got like 10 bottles of wine around the house. So, hey, have you seen that? Nope. Didn't see it.
Nope.
She's like, you drank it. I'm like, damn it.
No, I didn't. It
She
just
knows.
disappeared.
I mean, you can't really get away with things when you've known each other. We've known each other 33 years. Like, we just know, okay?
Yeah.
That's just, whatever.
Yeah, no, like I will say, like, if you don't really like wine, you gotta do like sweet stuff. Like sweet is the easiest drinking to go down.
Yeah.
Like Nick does not really like wine, and like ever since like I've started working at a vineyard, like my palate has definitely like, changed.
Mm,
And I will say, wine drunk is a lot different than every other drunk.
no shit.
Like you're like, oh, this doesn't affect me. Like it's fine, and then like 10 seconds later, like you're passed out on the ground. Like
Hmm.
it hits you hard,
That's what it
and
does for me. Yep.
game over. Game over.
Yeah. And you know what's
Yeah.
weird is I'll drink fucking hard liquor. I'll drink a case of beer. If we have a cookout like on Memorial Day or something, I'll start at noon and I'll go through a whole case by myself. Shots, shot, fucking whiskey, vodka. I'll wake up the next day, feel great, won't have a headache. Wine, get drunk on wine. My head will be pounding like got hit with a sledgehammer. And
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't like getting drunk on wine too much.
Yeah. No, I went with Nick a couple weeks ago. We went up to my work, and we were with his mom, and we pounded two full bottles, and then we have these little skinny bottles that are basically like half bottles.
Hmm.
Two of those, and I was like, yeah, like let's go to Helen. And like, I don't know if you've ever been to Helen, but it's like that little German town.
I haven't been
And
there yet, but we're going
oh,
soon. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's just like those little like cheesy German town, and we go like take fireball shots there. And like I'm 5'2", like
Yeah.
I'm a small person, and so like downing four bottles of wine probably wasn't my best idea. And then going to Helen, taking three shots of Fireball within like 20 minutes probably wasn't
Jesus.
another good idea. And so like Nick is literally like dragging me through this town, and I'm just like, like this is fun. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
wine
funny.
drunk is different.
Oh yeah,
So
I hear you. Well, listen, Alexis, it's been awesome, awesome talking with you again. I'm
yeah,
I'm really excited. Thank you again for this
yeah, you're so
personalized
welcome.
letter that you drew on. Is so cool, and you spelled my name right. It really makes me feel good. Uh,
Yeah,
and your patch. Thank you so much.
yeah,
And
no problem.
yeah, I'm sending you your stuff because when I texted you that day, I don't think you texted me your address. Maybe you forgot. So I had to wait until I got this. So now I know. So now I
Yeah.
can send you your stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, I definitely had to make sure I took care of you, and like I appreciate every time you have me on the podcast, and
Yeah.
great
Oh yeah.
time.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you in almost exactly a month, right?
Yes, yes,
So
basically exactly a month.
exactly a month. So I will be, yeah, we'll be there on Saturday. We'll drive up Saturday morning, spend the whole day, see what happens, and
Perfect.
then probably come back.
Yeah.
So
And I'll make sure I get like an entire an itinerary for you, and make sure you know what's kind of going on and everything.
yeah,
But
That'd be cool.
Nice. All
Awesome.
right.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
thank you.
Hey, everybody that's going to watch us and listen, go follow Spooky Airsoft. Don't send her any nasty messages, you little kids. Okay? Can you grow up a little bit, please? Be nice, be kind. And Airsoft is a game of honor. Carry that through into your personal life. So don't send some stupid messages to people, all right? Make people feel good. Just like you want to be made feel, to feel good. So quit with your little bitchy ass shit, all right?
Exactly. It couldn't have started any better.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, Spooky Airsoft on Instagram, and her husband, Sandy Cheeks, which I love that nickname. But thank you again, and we'll
No,
see
you
you.
too.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye bye.